Hello everybody and welcome to Commerce World's Strongest Man. Here we are up in the Hollywood Hills. Filmed the moon landings just up there apparently, and we're here for Heat 5 of this year's tournament, which is of course the last chance to get places in the final and also features a bit of a lift-off. Graham Hicks is in the mix for one of those spots, but so too is this sport's leading man. He is a two-time champion and the current world's strongest man. The USA's Brian Shaw has been at the forefront of the evolution of strength athletics. At 6 foot 8 inches tall and 30 stone, the man from Colorado is not only immensely strong, but also packed with explosive power and speed. Good luck to anyone getting in his way. 30 men have traveled to Los Angeles in search of 12 qualifying spots. Only 2 automatic places are still up for grabs in our last qualifying heat. These are the guys who want them.
Gerhard from Staden, South Africa. Mikhail, Shivlyakov, Russia. Cummine, Canada. Wildauer, Austria. Graham Hicks, England.
Brian Shaw, United States.
The first test is the loading race from the Commerce Hotel and Casino, and that's where we join Colin Bryce and first Martin Haven for the action.
Thank you, James. Now, the one thing we know about a blacksmith anvil is that it was put in position to stay where it was left at all times. And that means shifting 4 of them up this course is going to be the devil's own job. 125 kilos each, 19.5 stone, very close to most of these men's body weight. Our first 3 competitors then, Gerhard von Staden, Scott Cummine, the correctional officer from the capital of Saskatchewan, and Martin Wildauer from the Tyrol region of Austria, winter sports capital of the country. Well, speed is going to be vital here, but so too is the ability to pace yourself. Wildauer struggling, got the thing off the floor and nearly dropped it on his toes, Colin. I don't think you want to be doing that.
Yeah, a huge jolt of adrenaline at the whistle there, and Wildauer and Cummine just snatched at that first weight. Gerhard von Staden looking comfortable. The bigger, heavier man, everyone expected to be slow, is looking good.
Spends his time relaxing with his lions. Yes, that's right, he runs a wildlife reserve in South Africa, among other things. And he has the lead, but in the centre lane, yeah, final run. This is good for Scott Cummine. Oh! Too much speed, and Cummine looked to have won that one, and in the end comes in last, and the focus and the concentration shattered in an instant.
Yeah, just under 10 seconds to go here. He's got to regroup, not panic. Come on, Scott. There you go.
Well, victory for von Staden. Heartbreak, though, for the Canadian.
Okay. Von Staden looking very happy with that, and so he should be. He kept his cool, even when he was overtaken there by Scott Cummine, who just overstriding. He didn't have the power in his legs to deal with it, just trying too hard. But cool as a cucumber, winning this trio anyway. Gerhard von Staden.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Now the remaining 3 contenders will try and beat von Staden's time, starting with Mikhail Shivlyakov, wearing the beret of the Russian Marines. Smallest competitor in this field from England, Graham Hicks, only started at the age of 24 because he thought it looked like fun. Brian Shaw from Colorado, the defending champion. Shaw is going to be very hard to beat here. And Staden's time, 41.89. So away we go. The Russian on the far side, Graham Hicks in the middle, the aerospace engineer from Morecambe. And he has got a good turn of speed. The Russian has the lead at the moment. Now, everybody is looking in this heat of 6 athletes to Shaw to set the benchmark, to be the leader. But at the moment, he is lying 3rd in this race.
And that was so quick off the floor by Hicks. But he's playing a clever game here, Shaw. He's experienced. He knows the others will tire, and Shivlyakov has already made panicky mistakes.
Oh, Hicks is struggling to get that one up. He goes from 1st to 3rd. Shivlyakov coming in 2nd, 41.89 is the time. Oh, was that a dead heat? No, Shivlyakov hasn't got it on. He has not got it onto the platform. Up, 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 they're shouting from the crowd. I don't know what that translates to into in Russian, but... Ooh, that was almost a dead heat, but the winner is Brian Shaw, 38.05. That's the fastest time.
Well, there's nothing like just having colossal raw power, and Brian Shaw, he never panicked. Shivlyakov, Hicks snatched at things. They almost had the lead, but this man won.
Graham, well done. Second place finish in the loading race against the defending champion, world's strongest man, and it looked like you nearly had him pipped at one stage.
Yeah, I really wanted to beat him. I got a little excited up fourth one and slipped out of my arm, but I just took second all day long. But we had a good banter before the event, and I said I was going to beat him, but not true to my word today, unfortunately. But it's an honour to go against him. It's not something I ever thought I'd be ever doing in my life, so it's a great honour to be going head-to-head with Brian.
And this race seems suited to you. It's all about the speed.
Yeah, I seem to make up a lot of time in between the implements. I've been getting faster with the implement as well, which has helped a lot, so I think if I hadn't dropped it, I'd have put in a really quick time.
Okay, well done. Good start. Best of luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
So near, but yet so far for Graham Hicks then. The Englishman's fumble with the anvil means he finishes more than 3 seconds behind the reigning champion, with Van Staden and Wildauer not far behind. Coming up, it's an event that surely won't suit Hicks' relatively short stature. Fingal's fingers. These 5 enormously heavy steel poles will certainly take some flipping effort. Welcome back, everyone, to Commerce World's Strongest Man. It's Heat 5, where the big story so far has been England's Graham Hicks so nearly snatching the lead in this group from Brian Shaw in that loading race. Well, now, as the action returns to the heart of Hollywood, Paramount Studios and the incredible New York City film set, there's a real challenge in store for Graham and the others. Fingal's fingers, 5 giant steel cables. It's not an event for the smaller man. He isn't the biggest, but hey, Hicks with the sticks in the home of the flicks. Let's enjoy.
I'm liking that a lot. It is a rare chance to take a peek behind the scenes at some movie magic, but our athletes, I'm afraid, will have little time to enjoy the scenery, because the next test is a huge one. Fingal's fingers, and it's flipping difficult. Well, the rules are very straightforward. You come down the course, pushing over every one of these fingers as you do so. You've got to get as many as you can within a minute, and of course, as you go down the course, the 5 fingers get heavier and heavier. And the last one, when your muscles are screaming for relief, 320 kilos, over 50 stone.
Please welcome, from Austria, Martin Wildauer.
Well, this is where height is definitely your friend, but absolute raw power will work too.
From
Martin
England,
Wildauer
Graham Hicks.
and Graham Hicks. Wildauer, the Austrian, 6'3", 21 stone. Gerhard Van Staden and Scott Cummine have already gone through. Van Staden again with a fast time for 4, but yet to complete the course.
Well, Martin, you can't coach height, as one famous basketball coach once said, and that's what Wildauer has in abundance here. Long arms as well, and it's just good biomechanics for this kind of event.
You've got to walk your way up it. You're not allowed to rest it on your shoulder at any stage, so that weight must be taken by the chest and the shoulders. And Wildauer still 1 full finger in front of Graham Hicks. So this is Wildauer going for number 4.
Oh, goodness.
Now he bailed out, and you see why the guy is walking behind him with the trolley. That's to catch the finger so it doesn't damage the apparatus or the athlete. And Hicks, oh, he needed that so badly. And I think they are both done.
Well, he burned out very quickly there, Wildauer. Maybe just one of his elbows unlocked for a second, and that was enough for it just to snap back at him. And Hicks just 3. That's disappointing.
And he probably realised this was going to be his worst event. But for Wildauer, he might have held out hopes of finishing the entire course.
Please welcome, for the
Martin
United
Wildauer, our
States
leader then, 4 fingers in 26.80. Brian Shaw, you have got to expect to do all 5. He leads after the first heat. Made the anvil race look very straightforward. And Mikhail Shivlyakov, though, could perhaps have been the winner, but for that fumble. And maybe like Lawrence Charlet in our fourth heat, he's going to be spurred on by that disappointment from the opener to really blaze through. And he's giving Brian Shaw a fantastic race for his money here.
Well, Shaw has to be a massive favourite for this. He's 6'8" tall. He's best part of 200 kilograms in body weight. He's got everything you need to be good at this. Shivlyakov, first time ever at World's Strongest Man. First time ever doing the fingers. And look at this, Shaw. He's done a fast 4. I'm not sure he's even going to do the 5th.
Well, he may be saving the energy for the finals, never mind for this competition.
Well, look at this. He's waiting to see whether Shivlyakov can get this one over or even up, and then he'll attack it.
This is shades of the 1970s and 80s, isn't it? Cold War, Russia versus America. Shaw is sitting out, and Shivlyakov can't manage the 5th. So, Brian Shaw, the winner, 22.1 seconds, blitzes through. Martin Wildauer, second fastest. Shivlyakov, better performance there in 4th.
Well, Shivlyakov kept going his first time at it, but look at Brian Shaw. Massive long arms, 3 or 4 pushes, and it's virtually over.
Well, Brian, a time of 22.10, but only 4 fingers there. Why did you decide to leave the last one?
I was going out in the last heat, and nobody in my group had done 5, so honestly, I'm just trying to save energy. I mean, I only need to do what I need to do to make the final, and you know, I knew if I could flip 4 fingers in a good time and win my group, that was what I needed to do, and you know, 6 points is 6 points.
And so taking that into account, how are you feeling ahead of your remaining qualifying events?
Oh, I feel great. I mean, really, like all the events, I've kind of tried to get to where I don't really have very many weaknesses with events. So the rest of the events should go really smooth, and hopefully, I mean, it's never easy to say that you're going to cruise into the final and get there, you know, super easy, but that's what I'm going to try to do. So it should be fun.
Maybe for you it is. Well done, Brian.
Yeah, thank you very much.
4 fingers of fun then for Shaw, leaving the rest of the field trailing in his wake. The American barely getting out of first gear, but already finishing 4 seconds ahead of his nearest rival Martin Wildauer. Hicks continues his steady start. The Englishman then 2 points from the qualifying places, and he has some good events coming up. It's the American Shaw, though, who has maximum points after 2 events.
Winning a second title at World's Strongest Man is an accomplishment that very few men have achieved. It puts me into a very elite group of men, and I'm very proud to be a part of that group. I've looked up to Bill Kazmaier since I've been a small kid, you know, and getting into the sport and getting to know him has been incredible. Being able to match him by winning my 3rd World's Strongest Man title and to be only the 2nd American to ever achieve that would, I mean, it would just be a dream come true. Coming into World's Strongest Man this year, obviously I feel like I'm the favorite. I know that I have a target on my back. It puts more pressure on me, but it makes me work harder. You know, I always keep it in the back of my head that other guys are working hard and they want what I have. At the end of the day, it just comes down to how bad do I want to keep it versus how bad they want to come take it from me.
Well, the next chance for Shaw to shine will come from Paramount Studios. It's the deadlift.
Well, there'll be dead muscles by the end of this as well. The deadlift cage starts at 280 kilos, 44 stone. 1 clean lift adds another 2.5 stone barrel, and every time you do up to a maximum of 7. By which time it will be a massive struggle. Nobody yet in any of the heats has managed all 7 barrels. Gerhard van Staden went first for South Africa, 4 reps, 22.98 seconds, and that's where the 7-time Canada's strongest man, Scott Cummine, now comes in.
The Canadian powerlifting champion to boot as well. He's a 400-kilo deadlifter. We're going to get up to 370 if all the barrels go in, but the fatigue factor. There'll be 6 lifts before it if he gets to it.
Well, this is classic weight training, isn't it? You get to fatigue and then you add more weight, and that's how you tear down and build up muscles. 6 reps he's looking for now. He is at 5. Just gone past half the time allocated for this. He's not going to get it, is he?
Finished! Yeah, it's not exactly something you need more than 60 seconds. You're normally burnt out by 25, 30. If you're not getting it by then, you're in trouble. So 5 reps for the Canadian. But he was certainly very quick over the first few, and then fatigue got him. It's a hot day here. I wonder whether that's playing a factor.
Please welcome from the
Nobody
United
has
States of
yet
America,
managed
Brian
7 reps
Shaw.
in the deadlift. Is Brian Shaw the man who is going to? Or is it just too much of a task even for these behemoths?
Ready, lift!
Big, wide straddle. Started his athletic career as a college basketball player, and then found that actually, of all that he did, he enjoyed being in the gym most, and that led him in this direction.
I mean, he wasn't far away from being a potential NBA, but at 6'8", he wasn't sure if he was going to be a center or a guard or a forward. And boy, did he love weightlifting. Now, rep 6. Look at this. Can he do the last one? Oh, he's so professional, he's not even going to attempt it.
So he is in the lead of the contest. Well, the question now will still hang, could he have? He's leaving it out there, isn't he, for somebody else to do. Master tactician.
Yeah, he's obviously gambling that no one else is going to do 7. Zaviskus didn't do 7 in a previous heat. That was an easy 6. But you know what? Shivlyakov, Wildauer, these guys are great deadlifters. Hicks, he's no slouch either.
Graham Hicks says log is his best event, but there's none that he doesn't like. He's just enjoying being here. Only his 5th year as a strongman.
Down, good.
But Colin, what about speed? How fast can you really go at this?
It's extremely important that every time you hear the referee shout lift when that barrel's settled, you go for it. Fast as possible, because if you're equal on barrels, it comes down to time.
He is trying to catch 6 from Brian Shaw. That is for 5, and that looks like what he's got. And the time will decide that, because Scott Cummine also had 5, and the Canadian was just a fraction quicker, 25.68 seconds. So Graham Hicks lies in 3rd.
Well, Hicksy's back strength under the spotlight there, and he came through the test. A good 5 reps. Now, the last one, he really had to eke it out.
Representing Russia,
Mikhail Shivlyakov.
Shivlyakov.
The Russian getting himself psyched up. Ready to take on this challenge. He knows he needs 6 to try and win this event.
Just such an aggressive attitude towards all of the events.
There is not a spare ounce on him. He is so muscular.
He's just almost a little too nervous. Wants it too much. You can see he's faffing around there with his straps, and that's costing him time. That's something that just shouldn't be a problem at all.
Going for rep number 5, but the time won't be contesting Cummine or Hicks. He needs a 6th here. Is it there? Are we going crazy, Ivan? Are we going to get that big lift? He's on the way, but he can't get to the knees. Defeated at 5, and that will leave him in 4th spot.
With a time of 30.13 seconds, 5 flips. Mikhail Shivlyakov.
Well, I can only assume his tactics, if he had some there, were to try and do as many reps as possible. Forget the time, keep taking breaks. It didn't pay off.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Austria, Martin
Wildauer tied for 2nd place in the contest. Let's just recap here. First 2 men in this heat of 6 athletes go through to the final, guaranteed. 3rd place, potential for one of the 2 wild cards.
Well, this is the last man to deadlift. We've seen every heat so far, and no one's done all 7. It would be nice to see it. He's the deadlift kid. That's his nickname from when he was 19 and he pulled a world record. Well, he's 26 now. He's no kid, but he sure can pull a good deadlift, Wildauer. Here comes number 6.
He's going at it hard and fast. His day job, he works for the Austrian State Building Regulations Officer.
Come on, Martin. The first man to do all 7.
Oh, he's there. He is there. He has got it. He has got all 7. And that is what the Russian was trying to do as well. Ignore the clock and go for the reps. And it's a clean one. And he wins this event with style.
Deadlift for group 5 with all 7 lifts. From Austria, Wildauer.
I don't think Brian Shaw counted on that. He did a quick 6. Look how pumped up he is. You see at the end, he was still down there ready to pull, waiting for the next one. He was in the zone.
Well done, Martin.
Martin Wildauer, congratulations. The only man to complete all 7 reps, so you must be very pleased.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really happy now because I'm really surprised too because it was really heavy. I'm happy. I did all 7 reps. I mean, wow.
Second place in your group now, trying to make the final for the first time. How do you rate your chances?
Next is the car walk, and it's a lot of weight, you know, it's 455 kilos, and the others are pretty good in that. And the log lift, it's not my favorite event, but I improved a little bit, so everything can happen, you know, that's strongman.
Well, Wildauer certainly the power when it comes to deadlifting. The Austrian lifting all 7 reps, the only man in all of the qualifying heats to manage that, and he takes an invaluable event win. Overall, it's still Shaw in the driving seat, but Wildauer's victory has propelled him into 2nd place. Time may be running out, thus, for Graham Hicks's hopes of qualifying. Well, after Martin's magnificent 7, it's time for us to escape from New York. Plenty of these boys will be delighted to see the back of it, frankly, after that deadlift, but as ever, there's worse still to come, as next up, we'll be asking our competitors to go to work in a car, which in LA is never an easy thing to do, but particularly when you have to pick the thing up and walk with it. Yep, the car walk is after the break. World's Strongest Man 2014, where Brian Shaw has once again shown that he is the complete strongman package. That combination of strength and athletic ability that has already made him a 2-time champion. He's in complete control of Heat 5, the others left to battle for the remaining qualifying spot. Coming up shortly, an event that's going to be of particular interest to the locals here. California is the state with the highest proportion of car ownership in the USA, and what better way to encourage all those drivers to go out and do some exercise than one of these. It's a splendid little nippy city runaround, bags of room, lovely big sunroof, and best of all, because it's completely minus an engine, it's 100% green. Yeah, they're going to be carrying this baby, so those 0 emissions. Well, not from the vehicle anyway. Yabba dabba do then on World's Strongest Man.
Thank you, Barney Rubble. So for Fred Flintstone lookalikes, it's a very easy job. Pick the car up, walk down the course, put the car down. And the only wrinkle there is the 71.5 stone weight of this engineless vehicle. So on no horsepower and 1 manpower, Shivlyakov at the line. Scott Cummine from Canada, 24.8 meters, didn't quite get to the line. So now, let's see if the Russian can fare a little better than our Canadian.
Well, we've seen he kind of attacks events with just too much gusto at times, and it's the kind of event where you really have to get your balance and keep it, but so far, so good.
Well, the problem with all this weight is once it starts moving, it drives you rather than the other way around. We've seen it before. If you touch a wheel, it sends the athlete off at askew, and that's really dangerous for knees and for the lower back as well.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out all of these wheels are locked, so if they hit the ground, the rubber bites and it sends you off balance. And look at this, now he's twisted up here. This will be even trickier to get going now.
Well, the Russian is racing for the line. 60 seconds is the maximum time. He's going to be close if he gets there on time. Very close indeed. And the wheels are locked clearly to stop you rolling it any distance.
Yeah, he lunged for the line there, but he just bit short, and finally.
Well, that one hurt, and it hurt a lot. Shivlyakov, 53.94. Looks pretty disappointed with that.
This is the kind of athlete, he won't make the final this year. You can see that now. Too many mistakes. Give him another year of experience, though. He's got plenty of talent and lots of drive, that's for sure.
A bit more bulk and raw power would certainly help him. And that's the same for Graham Hicks as well. Shivlyakov has been a strongman for 7 years. Graham Hicks only in his 5th year, tied for 3rd at the moment. And that 2nd place guaranteed slot in the World's Strongest Man final is tantalizingly close. Well, you can't leave anything on the table, Colin, when you're chasing that spot. You've got to give it everything here.
Well, you can adjust those straps in the car, and Hicksy's chosen for a really deep pickup. So look how high the wheels are off the ground. That's beneficial now. It's a hard pickup, but hopefully the wheels won't touch the tarmac.
Small steps to keep all that weight going straight up and down the spine. This is a very good run from Graham Hicks, 35.44. 20 seconds nearly quicker than the Russian. Didn't touch down once.
From England, Graham Hicks.
Nobody's enjoying this, are they? He dove for the line there, just desperate to get the weight off of his shoulders. So uncomfortable. There's no showboating at the end of this, standing chatting to the crowd, is there?
Well, Kara is with him now.
Graham, tied third with Gerhard coming into the car walk. How important was it for you to try and finish that one off?
It's really important. I mean, I've never done car walk before, so I just wanted to finish it. Luckily, I've finished it in a decent time, so pick up some good points.
Never done it before, and how was the experience?
It's a lot different to a yoke. Every time I felt I could go quicker, the car started to wobble. But no, I think I'll have to try and train. It's quite hard to get hold of a car, though.
Not the sort of thing you find hanging around on well-known auction sites, is it? A car with no guts. Next up, Gerhard van Staden from South Africa. Big G, or the Lion King, his friends call him, predictably, with his Lion Nature Reserve.
He's a former shot putter, he's explosive, we've seen him, he's fast moving from the first event, but his balance is all wrong here. This isn't good from Van Staden, and he's gone down.
He has indeed. Looked like his left leg was collapsing, and the problem is, of course, it starts to twist quickly, this car. There's a lot of weight once it gets moving. He's struggling as much as our Russian Shivlyakov, and he does not look like he is in a great deal of comfort. He's out of the car. Is it his left leg? It is as well.
The handbrake's on, he says.
That was when he went down the first time. Watch under the car.
Yeah, you see he hasn't pulled up his knee sleeves there, probably just forgot those and felt a little uncomfortable.
From Austria,
Martin Wildauer, this beast of an Austrian. 7 kegs in the deadlift. So we know he's got the power. Likes anything that involves a strong back. Well, this should be right up his street then. Started as a kickboxer at the age of 10. Got into weights and deadlifting. Was a multiple national record holder in Austria. He had 40 records before he was 20.
Well, he's starting to move well with this after a bit of an ugly pickup. He might have a strong back, but he's not got particularly strong legs, but now he's moving. He's moving well. He's got a grip of it, and there's a good balance.
Yeah, the wide arms have really helped keep that balance for a very fast run from Martin Wildauer. Leaps up on what remains of the interior of the car. He is pumped up with that, and rightly so. That could be a second event win.
I think that's a lesson for all the others. See how far his head's sticking out? It wasn't a really deep pickup, but he managed to get a good grip on the car, and he kept the balance with his upper body.
United States of America, the current...
Well, Brian Shaw will be no stranger to car carrying. There's not an event in strongman he hasn't seen just a few times. Will our reigning champion be able to blitz the Austrian? Look, he sets off as though somebody just took half the weight out of it.
This is a 5-seater car, right? Not 5 Brian Shaws, that's for sure. He's charging here, 15 meters. He's coming towards the finish line. Surely he's going to win this one.
But again, he's got a good grip on the door frames and keeps the balance. 20.35 seconds. That's just plain ridiculous.
Brian Shaw!
Stunning stuff from the champion. He is in epic form.
The reigning champion making it look easy and showing he's got the biggest engine as he clocks a time of 20.35 seconds. Wildauer also very impressive in second. And it is the Austrian who's looking more likely to join Shaw in the final. A respectable performance from Hicks in the car walk, keeping him in third place. But the man from Morecambe is going to need to step on the gas in the 2 remaining events. Brian Shaw really running away with it then in the car walk. And up next, we've got the overhead lifts. Bill Kazmar's here to tell us a little bit more about that. Bill, first of all, there's an interesting battle developing there between Martin Wildauer and Graham Hicks. This should be quite a good event for Graham.
It is, because he's a little bit shorter, stocky, and is able to clean and press. And it's one of his specialties, where Martin Wildauer, he's taller, and it really is not one of his strength events.
Okay, this could be crucial then. Now, they look difficult, terrible grips, no, because it's hammer style.
That's right. And to get it up to the shoulders and overhead, it's going to be a lot of hard work, especially when the guys start to rest on their chest, try to get their footing. That's when it's going to bear down, collapse the lungs, inhibit their breathing, and just rob them of that oxygen.
You used to do this.
Oh, yes, back in the day, but I'm trying to remember, it's many years ago.
All right, okay. All right, well, as we mentioned, it's going to be a crucial event, this one, for Graham Hicks in his battle in this heat. Let's enjoy the action now.
Well, Bill Kazmar, former world record holder in log press, looks like he could still do a few reps, doesn't he? They've got 60 seconds in which to do as many as they can. 150 kilos, that's a 23-stone log. So those who have gone already, 4 reps for Scott Cummine. And again, you tend to run out of muscle before you run out of time. Gerhard van Staden overcoming the pain of the car walk. He too has 4 reps.
Mikhail,
I figure that you'll need at least half a dozen to win this without Shaw in the field. Shivlyakov up against Wildauer. Now Wildauer, as we've already heard, looking to try and book a place guaranteed in the final with second spot. But Graham Hicks will be chasing him down, so we need to watch the man in orange just very closely.
Now this is where Wildauer struggles. He's got such long arms. He needs to hit it hard with his legs so he doesn't have to do so much work pressing out. Shivlyakov, though, stacks of upper body power.
Former powerlifting champion, Shivlyakov. Wildauer, deadlifter.
Yeah, good deadlifters, often very long-armed. Not so good in the press. Shivlyakov on 4, and Wildauer. His log's gone for a walk there.
He didn't get a clean rep there either, so he's still only got 2. Shivlyakov in the lead with 5. And as Wildauer struggles, Wildauer pulls his belt out to try and give him something to rest the log on. And he's told to tuck it back in. 6 for Shivlyakov. And Wildauer off the mat. That wasn't a clean lockout of the elbows either, so he has only 2 reps. Shivlyakov staggering under that one. Clean lift for 7. Wow, that is a real mark for everybody to attack. That gives Shaw something to do for sure. Wildauer, 2 reps. That might put second place in real jeopardy.
How many times has he been in this position, in the top 2, and then lost it and not made it to the finals? Shivlyakov, though, wow. That's more than 1 every 10 seconds, 7 reps.
United States of America.
Determination from the Russian Marine to take the lead. What about the reigning strongman champion? Can Brian Shaw get to 7? Can he get to 8? And Graham Hicks, lying in 3rd, needs to overhaul Wildauer and needs to do it comfortably. Wildauer is going to be at the back of the table. It's simple here for Hicks, isn't it, Colin? This is the penultimate event. He has got to blast out reps like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, if he could match Shivlyakov, even get 8 reps, win this heat, that would just be magnificent. Clawing away at that gap between him and Wildauer in second in the overall heat standings.
Well, if he could get beyond half a dozen, that would be quite remarkable. Brian Shaw, is he struggling or just taking his time?
I think he's taking his time. Everything's just measured at the moment. Shaw's got that advantage. He's in the lead. But Hicks, he's a great presser. He's a whole lot shorter than Shaw, about a foot shorter, and it certainly helps here in this event.
And his form is exceptional. Shaw really taking his time, but he was staggering around under the log on the previous lift. Hicks with 5 reps.
He's run out of steam a bit. Come on, Hicks, off the chest. There's 6.
Now, is he done at 6? I think he is. And Shaw done at 5. Time is up anyway. Well, that was a heroic effort from Graham Hicks. He is leaving nothing to chance here. Only 5 reps from Brian Shaw, but surely that was all he needed to do.
Yeah, it's just So professional about everything, Shaw, exactly what he wanted to do. Hicks, though, if he'd have done 7, if he hadn't have fluffed the 3rd rep, then he'd have been equal in 1st. Another half point, because he had plenty of power at the end still.
Probably the best.
Graham, 2nd place in your group. Are you pleased with that one or disappointed?
I'm disappointed. I made a mess of the 3rd rep and lost my rhythm, so I think I recovered it well. I wanted 7 or 8, but 2nd place still puts me up there. There's still a fight going into the Stones, so fingers crossed.
There sure is. 3rd place in your group going into the Stones. What have you got to do?
Just got to go out and try my best to see what happens. I'm enjoying myself as always, so we'll see what happens.
Well, a brave smile from Hicks, but he knows he could and maybe should have made more of one of his favourite events. Instead, it's the newcomer Shivlyakov who claims his first event win. Shaw out of the top 2 for the first time, but the reigning champion won't worry. He's now guaranteed his place in the final. Behind him, Wildauer's poor showing in the overhead lift means that Hicks has closed the gap between him and the top 2 to just 2 points. And he will need to ensure he clinches 2nd, because it is now impossible for anyone else to take one of the wildcard places. They go to Australia's Warwick Brandt and Dave Osland of the USA. So, Shaw in the final with 1 event to spare, Hicks and Wildauer in the hunt for that last qualifying spot. All will be decided in the final event of Heat 5, the Atlas Stones. Don't go away. Welcome back to Universal Studios, where Heat 5 is about to go out in style. Here's Cara with the details.
Thanks, James. Well, we have 1 event left in this year's qualifying section, and it is, of course, the world-famous Atlas Stones. 1 athlete's already through to the final. It's the reigning champion, Brian Shaw. So it's now time for these iconic granite spheres to work their own brand of strongman magic.
So often this legendary event has been the final decider in strongman competitions, and in all of the heats it has played its part as well. So the final test for our hopefuls. Gerhard van Staden will want to go out in a blaze of glory. Mikhail Shivlyakov could yet work himself into 2nd place. Scott Cummine, 4 stones in 48 seconds. Brian Shaw opted not to go into this King of Stones competition. So watch the Russian in the yellow shirt. There's only 4 points covering 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And Colin, again, it comes down to the Atlas Stones.
It's such a great decider. It's a great test of back power, arm power, fitness, explosive strength, everything. Van Staden gets the 3rd on just ahead here, but it's Shivlyakov who really needs to win this.
Van Staden is having a really good run. Must be all that lion wrestling. He's got 4, and Shivlyakov misses the platform, trying to sort out the tacky on his hands to get a better grip. These things are so heavy, but the platforms are so high as well. Van Staden going for 5. Shivlyakov gets the 4th on. He almost had to bounce it on there. Van Staden wants the crowd to work him up. We're up against the time limit with Shivlyakov. He's got 5 seconds. It's not going to happen for the Russian. It is out of his hands. He's got 4. All he can do is wait to see what happens with Wildauer and Hicks. Van Staden, 4 stones as he bows out of this heat.
Well, Van Staden, there was no pressure on him there. He was relaxed, didn't even bother with the 5th. Shivlyakov, well, a couple of mistakes. It's the story of his world's strongest man experience, really.
Well, now, Martin Wildauer holds the magic ticket for 2nd place. At the moment, if nothing changes, he will go to the final. Graham Hicks in 3rd, just 2 points behind, has got to beat the Austrian. So Brian Shaw goes through by rights. Martin Wildauer in 2nd, Graham Hicks in third. It is between the two of them as to who gets second spot. There are not enough points to guarantee a wild card place. Those have already gone. It is second or go home.
Well, Wildauer has been in this exact position a number of times now. He's never made the final. He's always choked on the stones. Funny enough to Terry Hollands a couple of times, but he's a much bigger man than Hicks, and he's looking cool here.
The first platform is almost Graham Hicks' head height. The second is at chin height. It's not until they get to the end where he gets them almost at chest height, but he's got to 4. Wildauer at 5. Wildauer must make this to hang on. Hicks must make it to go through, and the mighty Austrian will take that second spot. Graham Hicks can't do it. In the end, only one man could get the second place. Hicks with a rueful smile. It is the Austrian who will go through as Hicks is eliminated.
With 5 stones at a time of 33.98 seconds through to the final.
Oh, Colin,
from Austria,
again, Atlas Stone drama to the very last.
Oh, and that's a scream of relief. How many times has he come here, the world's strongest man, tried and just failed on the stones? Well done, Martin Wildauer. He deserves a final.
Martin, your 5th world's strongest man and the first time you've made the final. This is huge.
This is awesome. I mean, you're training the whole time, the whole year for this moment, you know. And now it happens. It's awesome. I cannot describe this feeling, you know. Wow.
And it was close down at the end. The Englishman gave you a good run in Graham Hicks.
Yeah. Just happy, you know.
Now you've made the final. What are your expectations?
I don't know. I just wanted to come through the qualification and wants to be in the final, you know. So I don't know what I have to expect now.
How are your nerves, though? We've just seen you stood along the current world's strongest man. Will you be nervous entering this final?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's every year the same, and it's every time so close, you know. I'm always nervous. It's the biggest competition in our sport, you know.
Martin Wildauer on top of the world there, and understandably so. The Austrian, the only man in this heat to lift all 5 stones. As for Graham Hicks, his 4 stones not enough to spoil Wildauer's party. The Lancastrian finishing 3 points behind his Austrian rivals in the race for second place, as Wildauer accompanies reigning champion Brian Shaw into the final, despite the American not attempting the stones. Well, Brian, top marks for not trying, but the big man goes through to defend his title. That's the lineup sorted out for the finals then. Make sure you join us next time out to find out which one is crowned World's Strongest Man 2014. Goodbye.
And you can catch that final tomorrow on Channel 5 at 8:30.